3 M's kung paano magsimula ng low carb ang isang taong may diabetes. Yun yung pag-uusapan natin today. 3 M's meaning 3 steps. So ano yung unang-unang dapat isipin ng isang taong may diabetes na gustong mag-low carb? Kasi nga sobrang dami ng mga nagkaroon ng remission. Diabetes remission is defined as 1 year na wala ng gamot just by changes sa lifestyle, especially in food intake, na hindi na sila umiinom ng gamot and their blood sugar is well controlled. Paano masasabing well controlled ang blood sugar? That is by HbA1c or fasting blood sugar. Either way, but for me personally, mas magandang gauge yung HbA1c or the average blood sugar ng isang tao for the last 3 months dahil hindi itong madaling dayain. So it is somewhat more truthful, more reliable than just FBS alone. So going straight forward to our 3 M's. Number 1, anong pinaka-importanteng dapat gawin ng isang taong diabetic kung gusto mag-low carb so that they can also heal? Magkakaroon na rin sila ng remission is M, matuto. You have to learn what is low carb and what are the foods na safe kainin. So ano yung dapat nating matutunan? To make it easy, maraming paraan when it comes to learning low carb. Maraming platforms to tell you kung ano-ano yung mga pagkaing pasok at hindi pasok sa low carb. But on our side, to make it easy for others to remember, we have the hashtag JGC Rojo Food List. Yung food list na po ito, ginawa ko ito to make it more sustainable and the safest somewhat in general for the public to consume. Kahit sino ka man, kahit bata, matanda, buntis, lactating mothers, may diabetes o walang diabetes, the JGC Rojo Food List is safe. Kahit pa may cancer o walang cancer at the top of your health, JGC Rojo Food List, safe list, you can all take it without worry. So, saan ito makukuha? It is printable. Meron tayong website for you to print it. Kung gusto nyo, meron kayong copy nito sa bahay ninyo. Although dito, wala because we already memorized it by heart. So, this is the JGC Rojo Food List. Meron niyang in emoji forms na kung saan para mas madaling matutunan ng iba. But for others who are readers, mas maganda if mag-go through it one by one. So we have the safe list, yung nasa green. Kung titingnan natin yung mga emojis dyan. So it's the pork, it's the beef, it's the chicken, seafoods, eggs, shellfishes, crustaceans, and many more. So generally, lahat ng meat, lahat ng animal products are all safe to be consumed. And of course, when you say it is safe, dapat eto ay kinakain kasabay ng mga pagkaing nasa safe list lamang. The moment you combine safe food list with caution list, automatic caution list na yung meal ninyo. When you combine safe list and danger list, all the more, most likely considered as danger na yung inyong pagkain ng meal na yan. So that's why if you want to maintain the safety of this safe list, you have to eat the safe food list together with the other items na nasa safe list lamang. So ano yung ipapares natin sa ating meat, sa ating main meal, sa main source of proteins and healthy fats natin. If you want, emphasis ha, only if you want. Because for others, pwedeng optional, pwedeng wala ito. These are the vegetables. At anong klase yung vegetables na yan? You can have all green leafy vegetables and other vegetables na nasa Pilipinas that's very easy to find and also low carb, eggplant, talong, cucumber, peppers, asparagus, cauliflower, broccoli, pechay cabbage, at yung talbos ng kung ano-ano, spinach, kangkong, lettuce, kamote tops, hindi kamote ha, because kamote is in our caution list, okay? Caution list natin si kamote because it is under root crops and it is a very starchy food. So, generally, number 1 and 2, yun lang muna yung iisipin nyo. Sobrang dali ng buhay. Sabi ko nga, ano yung dapat tanungin when starting? Tanungin nyo lang kung ano yung nasa harapan ninyo. Ulam o gulay? if it's not ulam and if it's not gulay, then most likely hindi mo yan kailangang kainin. It's not okay under low carb in general, because generally the most low carb food items would be the meat, the ulam, and the vegetables. And root crops is not a vegetable, okay? Seafood and others, pwede siyang under safe list, pero to make it simple and make it easier for a diabetic to start, kahit kalimutan na muna yung low carb fruits, yung mga nuts and seeds, wala na muna yan. Make it as easy as possible para mas madali nating sundan. So, meat and poultry products, including seafoods, dahil ulam naman yan, and vegetables. And if you use oil or fats for cooking, just use coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, ghee, lard, tallow, fish oil, grass-fed butter, at kung ano-ano pa. So, to learn more about this, you can check this one. And also, meron na rin tayong video on the printable food list, the JGC Rojo food list explained kung paano ito gawin. And that is our first M, kung paano magsimula ng low carb ang isang taong may diabetes. So you should learn first. Kailangan mo nang matuto. Kailangan natin niyang matutunan, because if you are not aware na kung ano yung mga pagkain na nakakapag-spike ng iyong blood sugar, then most likely hindi mo ito makokontrol. So, ang mga pagkain nandito would include fruits, would include grains, yung mga oatmeal, corn, quinoa, rice, kahit yung mga mais. So, all of these foods, kahit wheat bread, kahit pa brown bread, malunggay bread, at kung ano-ano pang bread, except for the low-carb breads na ikaw mismo yung gumawa. Kasi if it's a low-carb bread na hindi ikaw yung gumawa, we can actually never tell. We can never really know what's in there. Although I myself have friends whom I trust with my life na alam kong low-carb talaga lahat ng kanilang ginagawa, lahat ng kanilang products. But to be safe, in general, we should be wary, we should be cautious, because as long as hindi na tayo yung gumagawa niyan, we already got it processed na, na-pack na, then hindi na tayo makakasigurado how safe it is. So, generally, if it's a low-carb goodie na binili nyo lang, already considered it as a caution list na para to be safe. And when we say na caution, you have to be mindful. Dapat alam nyo kung ano yung pakikinggan sa inyong katawan. You listen to your body, and if you feel like you have inflammation, merong mga signs of parang hindi na ka na tolerant, especially if sanay ka na mag-low carb. Meron ng mga pangangati ulit, bloating, meron ng maraming cravings, meron na ring maraming mga pananakit sa katawan, all of those cramps and many other signs of inflammation. Others, nagkakaroon talaga ng skin allergies and many forms of inflammation, then maybe it's not good for you. So, to make it more objective, paano natin malalaman if what you are eating is really low carb? So, we will now move on our second M, kung paano magsimula ng low carb ang isang taong diabetic, and that is mag-monitor. Kailangan i-monitor muna ang pagkain. Ang pagkain and your blood sugar response. So, hindi lang basta yung pagkain nyo lang yung titingnan ninyo. You have to know kung ano yung response ng inyong katawan upon eating those food. Because there are certain food na akala natin safe, but yung sa atin pala ay nagre-respond tayo dito. So, you have to check 1 hour after your meal if eto ay talagang totoong low carb. If you have the budget for strips, initially, kapag meron kayong i-introduce na bagong food items, I recommend that you can do an experiment to check your blood sugar spike at 15, 30 minutes, and then 1 hour after. Kasi sa iba na insulin sensitive pa, merong mga panahon na by 1 hour, nakita nila na mababa na rin kanilang blood sugar. But kung na-check pala ninyo nung nasa 15 minutes and 30 minutes post-prandial, like right after intake, dun pala nag-shoot up, especially if it's the simple sugars. I'm not sure if nakita nyo na. I think I have a video before on the frap trap. It's like an experiment when I took a frap na binili ko sa isang fast food na sinabing low carb, because yung ginamit nilang syrup is sugar-free. And yet, yung blood sugar ko nag-spike pa din at 15 and 30 minutes. But after 1 hour, it already went into baseline. So, kung hindi ko chinek yung 15 minutes and 30-minute point na yon, hindi ko malalaman na nag-spike pala ang aking blood sugar. And that's a trap na we don't want you to engage in. So, kailangan i-monitor muna. There are different monitoring techniques. You can monitor the morning after you wake up, yung fasting blood sugar, na which is just in CBG form. Pwede rin na before eating and after eating. When it comes to monitoring, especially your body's response sa mga pagkain, it is highly suggested na kunin muna yung inyong blood sugar before you eat. So, first meal in the morning, kung meron kayong mga experimentation sa kung ano yung mga pagkain gusto ninyong i-check if it's pasok for you, if it's safe for you, I suggest that you do that experimentation first meal in the morning. So, say for example, ikaw ay gumising ng alas 6 ng umaga, your blood sugar, for example, is around 80, and then you waited kasi naka-fasting ka, you're on 16:8 schedule at alas 10 ka pa ng umaga sa start ng breakfast, and by 10 o'clock, pag-check mo ulit ng iyong blood sugar, nagtaka ka dahil from 80, akala mo mag-hypoglyc ka na, di ba? But to your surprise, your blood sugar actually went up to 95. Bakit mas tumaas? Bakit habang mas tumagal na wala kang kain na expected ng iba magha-hypoglyc ka, bakit ito tumaas? It's not surprising. Alam na alam yan ng mga students natin in our LCF Masterclass for Diabetes. They know na the moment na nalagpas ka na sa iyong fasting period and your body already can sense na walang pagkain papasok during that time, automatically magsi-switch on yung gluconeogenesis. So your body will now try to compensate by creating its own glucose to provide for your energy na kailangan mo during that day, and it's very, very active in the morning because by evolution, sanay tayo na walang masyadong pagkain. First thing in the morning, we have to work our way to get food. Wala pang 24/7 na mga deliveries noon, wala pang refrigerator, wala pang instant food na readily available in the morning. That is why, para sa mga sanay na mag-intermittent fasting, it is just so natural for us to skip our breakfast and delay it. Not totally skip na hindi ka nakakain, because breakfast doesn't need to be in the morning. It simply is the first meal that you will take after fasting. So we just delay it. And shout out to my favorite and first book before na nabasa when it comes to intermittent fasting. That was Stephens, yung kanyang book na Delay, Don't Deny. So the concept is, you don't deny yourself of food. You just delay it, di ba? And there is more empowerment kapag nakayanan mong i-delay yung gratification na yon coming from food, especially the food that you love. But right now, we are not just considering any other food, but specifically nutritious low-carb food. So, i-monitor to gauge kung ito ay low-carb enough. Dapat hindi ito lalagpas sa 30 units after eating. So, say for example, alam na natin, di ba, na you go into gluconeogenesis. So, yung katawan mo ay pwedeng gumawa ng kanyang sariling blood sugar para masustain yung pangangailangan mo while you are still fasting. So, from 80, example, going 95 na siya. And then, kumain ka. So, after kang kumain, so maraming pwedeng possibilities. If it's really high carb, pwede siyang mag-spike into 150 or 200 or even 250. So, kapag ganyan, sobrang nakakatakot na yan. Meaning, most likely, meron ka ng insulin resistance at yung katawan mo ay hindi na talaga tolerant with any more sugar. So, all the more na kailangan mo mag-low carb. Another thing would be, bakit nung after kang kumain, mas bumaba yung inyong blood sugar? That is also another common question na nagtataka yung mga baguhan pa lang, especially yung mga hindi pa naka-enroll sa ating 21-day Diabetes Masterclass. So they are wondering, bakit kaya na kung kailan ako kumain, dun pa mas bumaba yung aking blood sugar? It is simply because when you ate, your insulin actually rise up, and your insulin will not just rise up because of sugar. Hindi lang sugar yung only trigger for insulin release. Another trigger for insulin release would be proteins. So, yung mangyayari if you are eating protein-rich food but low carb, so meron kang insulin spike but wala kang blood sugar spike. So, ano yung mangyayari sa iyong 95 na blood sugar when you've had insulin spike or insulin increase, hindi naman total spike talaga, but just increase. So, those insulin, magpo-function yan. And one of its function, among many others, is to lower or papasukin sa loob ng cells yung mga sugar. So, yung mangyayari, yung 95 mo, posibleng maging 90 or pwedeng maging 85. And it's no big deal. Hindi yan kailangan i-worry ng isang tao, especially if you are feeling all right. Wala kang clinical symptoms of hypoglycemia or any other symptoms na parang hindi maganda yung inyong pakiramdam. And the other thing that you can just have is having a blood sugar after eating na tumaas pero hindi masyadong mataas. So, maybe you've eaten a well-balanced meal with proteins, with fats, and some degree of carbohydrates. So how do we know if it's low carb enough or pasok yung meal na yon? Again, dapat hindi pwedeng lumagpas sa 30 units yung increase. So if it's 95, yung allowance mo, supposedly, dapat yung blood sugar mo ay hindi siya aakyat more than, okay, math session tayo, 95 plus 30, 125. So, dapat hindi siya pwedeng lumagpas ng 125 milligrams per DL. If you are starting at a baseline of 100, so 130 yung maximum natin for us to consider that meal as low carb. So, if alam nyo na kung ano yung mga meal plans na yon na hindi ka lumalagpas ng 30 units after eating, then pwede nyo na siyang ilista sa mga list of foods that is safe for you. Pero, we just have one thing that we have to emphasize. We have the one in the caution list na walang insulin, na walang blood sugar effect. Would be the fruits. So be very, very careful when it comes to fruits. Okay? Kasi hindi lahat ng fruits nakakapagpataas ng blood sugar. In fact, mas marami sa mga prutas ang hindi nakakapagpataas ng blood sugar, but it doesn't mean na safe sila because it is loaded with fructose, and fructose is even much more dangerous than glucose when it comes to our response sa ating katawan, especially for those na merong mga functioning that is already under inflammatory state. Yung inflamed na yung kanyang liver, inflamed na yung kanilang katawan, meron ng mga problema. So make sure that whenever you take your blood sugar, you are not considering fruits as part of this one, especially sa nagsisimula pa lang, going back, you have to remember the one in the safe list only. So yan, yun yung ating second M. So again, sa mga bago pa lang subaybay sa atin na nakaalam na nagla-live na tayo ngayon. Hello to our Facebook and YouTube na mga subscribers. This episode is 3 M's kung paano magsimula ng low carb ang taong diabetic. The first one would be to learn, matuto. The second one would be to monitor. And the last one, ano yung last one? It's actually magbawas. Ano yung babawasan? Magbabawas ba tayo ng timbang? Magbabawas ba tayo ng pagkain? Ano yung babawasan natin? Magbabawas tayo ng gamot. And it's already a given. Because the moment you are into low carb, most likely, kailangan ng pababain yung dosing ng gamot. Because majority, if not all of the medications na binibigay for diabetics is under the standard diet, which would mean na kakain ka ng 60 to 70 grams of carbohydrates, not in a day, but per meal. So, yon yung standard na eating habit ngayon ng mga diabetics, to consume 60 to 70 grams of carbohydrates, of net carbs per meal. Times 3 yan, magkano na yan? Nasa 180 to 210 grams of carbohydrates. So that is already equivalent to around 10, 20, so 10, no? 10, nasa 50 teaspoons of white sugar. Okay lang ba sa inyo yon? 50 teaspoons of white sugar equivalent yung 200 grams of net carbs to be take taking in a day. So, kailangan talaga, the moment na nag-low carb ka na, most likely, your medication is already an overdose. So, nagkakaroon ng mga symptoms of hypoglycemia yung mga nag-low carb nang sila-sila lang without properly studying it, without the proper guidance of most especially low carb doctors or just a regular doctor to guide them. Nagkakaroon sila ng episode of dangerous hypoglycemia kasi ginawa nila ito without proper supervision. So, ang pagbabawas, merong tamang timing yan. And that is why kailangan na i-monitor mo muna kung ano yung inyong response on a day-to-day basis. In our LCF Masterclass, we teach our students, diabetics themselves, or yung mga caregiver ng diabetics, or other healthcare practitioners, nurses, and other fellow doctors who are learning in our platform on how to manage low carb diabetics the low carb way. So sa pagmo-monitor ng kanilang blood sugar response, meron silang parang table na at minimum 4 times a day muna mag-monitor for the next month. And then ilalagay din dyan yung kanilang other symptoms and kung ano yung kanilang kinakain. So that you can know kung ano yung safe na food sa'yo. And at the same time, alam mo kung kailan ka na pwedeng mag-half ng dose or mag-1/4 ng dose or kailan ito pwede nang pababain. Or if there are symptoms of hypoglycemia already, anytime pwede kang bumalik sa inyong doktor and you can consult with them. And any doctor will automatically lower down your dose the moment na nakita nila na there's actually no need for it. Na walang doktor na magbibigay ng pang anti-hypoglycemic na medicine if you're already low in your blood sugar because that can kill you. However, ibang usapan na din if you see or consult a healthcare provider na takot sa low carb at pupwersahin kang mag-high carb just so you can continue to take in that same level and amount of medication. But generally, the moment you learn how to do low carb properly and you know how to monitor your blood sugar response, there is also a way for you to lower down your need for medications. Do not automatically remove your medicine and do not do this on your own. Best to do it the guided way. That is why we provide a structured learning program sa ating LCF Masterclass for Diabetes. If you are interested, i-message nyo lang yung mga admins natin so that they can attend to you. We now have, I think, mga nasa 3,000 members na all over the Philippines and all over the world, especially Filipinos abroad. So, hi! Shout out sa lahat ng ating ka-LCF Masterclass members ng ating exclusive learning groups. Hindi tayo nakapag-live Q&A the last 2 Sundays ba? Or 3 Sundays na yung utang ko? 2 Sundays. Magiging 3 Sundays pa lang pala this Sunday. So, we will see if we can do a live Q&A. That is something na given for us because of certain turn of events na alam nyo na kung ano. So, generally, magbawas, that is a necessity because it will be an overdose. You will go into dangerous hypoglycemia kung hindi mababawasan ang inyong gamot kapag hindi niya ito kailangan. If you did low carb the right way, the ultimate na goal naman natin is to be free from the need of medications. Hindi lang yung basta-basta free of medications because that can be dangerous, but free from the need. Yung hindi na talaga ito natin kailangan because we were now able to heal ourselves naturally. So if you wish to know more, you can join the masterclass and you can also consult our low-carb doctors. We have Dr. Andy Manggubat. You can schedule from my assistant, and that is Admin Cha. And also for our meet and greet, and the same number will be used. So these are the numbers that you can check. So, meet and greet with Dr. Rojo. Uy, dapat change na yan to Dr. Tan because I'm now married. So, married na ako ngayon. First live ko na married ako, love. Yeah, I think so. Kasi kaka-live pa lang galing from Batanes. So, and speaking of meet and greet, I will have a meet and greet in Cebu this coming September 8. But there's a condition lang. I think meron yan sa ating page before. You have to have the laboratories taken in Health and Life Summit in Karkar, Cebu. And then we can do a meet and greet in Cebu City, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on September 8. And free reading na po yan ng laboratories ninyo. And there's also no fee for this meet and greet. The venue will be given to those who can comply with the requirements of this meet and greet. And yes, that is our 3Ms. Kung paano magsimula ng low carb ang taong may diabetes, you have to learn, matuto, and then know how to monitor your blood sugar response. And of course, kailangan bawasan ang gamot or else it would be dangerous. Check JGC Rojo food list as your guide kung ano yung safe food list. And I hope I will see you on the National Low Carb Day on October 2, 2022, wherein we will have the collaboration with the Low Carb Con 2022. So yung mga speakers natin and all of the other doctors, low carb doctors will be there. We will also have free low carb workshops kung paano magluto ng mga low carb foods, 1-week meal plan from our chef na mga low carbers. Meron ding mga budget meals, meals under 100. Meron ding low carb desserts, low carb kakanin. Merong mga for fitness, merong mga tips and tricks for pregnant and lactating mothers, all under low carb. So it's all going to be free. And of course, we invite lahat ng low carb enthusiasts, business owners, yung mga providers ng mga low carb and fasting essentials, even the ones na nagkakaroon ng mga interest on gadgets relating to low carb, anything under the sun. We invite you to be a part of this big national Low Carb Day event on October 2, 2022. It's going to be a Sunday and it's a whole day event, and baka dumating na hanggang gabi na. We will bond and meet and have fun and learn at the same time for only 500 pesos. So it's very, very cheap. It's 500 pesos because we want everyone to come. Just know na it will be in an open space, open area, and you are all welcome to join at that time. I hope you can come. And it's going to be in Muntinlupa City, so in Alabang. So we will post, I think the area would be in the Phil Invest tent in Muntinlupa City. So I hope you can come. For those na nasa probinsya, book na kayo ng ticket so that you can come in this very, very special event. And also for those naman na abroad or who cannot make it, pwedeng pa rin itong available virtually. So same amount of 500 pesos so that everybody can come and gather and bring your family. Have a low carb family day this coming October 2. That is a Sunday, 2022, our National Low Carb Day. So I hope you learned something today with our 3Ms kung paano magsimula ng low carb ang taong may diabetes. And of course, again, we can go into this website, and that is our printable food list. So, nandyan yan. Para sa mga bata, for example, meron dyang another one na picture na emoji kind so that it will be easier. I will try to type in here kung ano ang website na yan. Yan. So, it's wellnessbygraceMD.com/printable-food-list. So, yan ang website where you can print that PDF. Okay? So, I will see you in our next video. Maraming salamat, everyone. I'll see you again. Oh, hello from Hawaii. Gustong-gusto ko punta tayo ng Hawaii. Love. Singapore. And marami pa. How to pay? So, meron tayong National Low Carb Day. So, I will try to check how. While we'll still have time, hanapin natin. We have a National Low Carb Day PH website which we will update in a while para makita ninyo where to check that one. Stop screen share and I'll share this one. Share screen. So, this is in Facebook. This one, ay, ang aking mga ka-chat. Nakikita ninyo ang aking mga ka-chat. So, yan. Dami kong ka-chat, no? Yan. Dami. Paano kaya yan? Yan na ang aking mga ka-chat. So, National Low Carb Day, PH. So, yan. Just message this page and how to go about the registration. Okay? Hopefully, we will be able to release the full details of the program, of the convention part. for you to see, and also the workshop part. So naririnig nyo ba yung sound na yan? Yan ay tunog ng washing machine dahil today is laundry day. So, National Low Carb Day PH, you can send a message to that page para tayo ay makapag-register na. The 500 peso registration is an early bird registration. So hello, Bacolor, Pampanga, Davao del Norte, and many, many more. California also. Good afternoon, Riyadh. Na, ang saya. And from Angeles, Pampanga, and also Cordova, Cebu. We will be in Cebu by Monday. Okay? So, see you everyone. Maraming salamat po. I'll see you in our next video. So, remember to always stay low carb so that we all stay safe, and God bless everyone. Bye!